5 muscle building myths that are completely sabotaging your gains. What the science actually says. By the end of this video, you'll stop wasting time and start building muscle faster because we're going to debunk these common myths and replace them with easy, actionable steps grounded in science. So let's dive right into it. The first big myth is you must consume a massive protein shake immediately post-workout. There is no denying that drinking a protein shake post-workout is a great way to boost your protein intake for the day, especially if you are trying to build muscle and lose weight at the same time. But the idea that you have to chug down a protein shake within 30 minutes of finishing your workout is completely false. And the truth is you probably have much more flexibility with your post-workout meal than you realize. Here's why. When you finish your workout, your body starts to naturally repair muscle tissue through a process called muscle protein synthesis. For a long time, it was thought that you had a small window of opportunity, maybe only 30 minutes to 1 hour to get a protein shake or a snack with at least 20 grams of protein. Otherwise, you would miss out on the benefits of muscle protein synthesis. This concept became known as the anabolic window. However, research shows that the anabolic window is likely much longer than we originally thought. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that the anabolic window may extend up to 8 hours after exercise. In fact, studies have shown that when you consume protein later on in the day, like 4 to 8 hours after a workout, you can still stimulate similar amounts of muscle protein synthesis compared to if you ate that same amount of protein right after your workout. The bottom line is that while it's true that consuming protein immediately after a workout can help boost your overall protein intake, you likely have much more flexibility with your post-workout meal than you think. You could easily have a protein shake post-workout if you want to, but you also don't have to. Just make sure you're getting enough protein throughout the entire day and distribute it reasonably around your workouts. If you eat enough protein during the day, it won't really matter whether you have a protein shake directly after your workout or a few hours afterwards. As long as your total daily protein intake is sufficient, your body will still be able to effectively repair and build muscle. Actionable tip: instead of stressing over when to have your protein shake, simply focus on hitting your daily protein goal consistently. Having a good portion of protein around your workout is a good idea, but don't stress obsessively about slamming a shake within minutes of finishing your workout. Now let's move on to the next myth. Myth number 2. You need to train for 2+ hours every single day to see real growth. Unfortunately, many people fall victim to this myth and they end up overtraining, burning out, and often actually sabotaging their progress. It's true that spending more time in the gym sounds impressive, but it doesn't always translate to better results. In fact, overtraining can lead to burnout, injury, and stalled progress. Here's why. First, the length of your workout is far less important than the quality of your training. What matters most is that you push yourself during each workout by progressively increasing the amount of stress you place on your muscles over time. This is called progressive overload. By gradually increasing the weight you lift, the number of reps you perform, or the amount of time you hold a challenging isometric position, you send a clear signal to your body that it needs to adapt and get stronger. Second, your body needs time to recover properly between workouts in order to build muscle and get stronger. During the recovery process, your body repairs muscle tissue and synthesizes new muscle proteins. If you're constantly in the gym for 2 or 3 hours every day, you're not giving your body adequate time to recover. Adequate recovery is essential for muscle repair and growth. Research suggests that taking at least 1 full day off per week is crucial for optimal muscle recovery and growth. Additionally, sleeping enough, managing stress, and eating a balanced diet with plenty of protein all contribute to better recovery. Bottom line, you don't need to spend hours in the gym every day to build muscle. In fact, some of the best programs are those that focus on shorter, more intense training sessions. Aim for focused training sessions that last around 45 to 75 minutes. And prioritize rest days to allow your body to recover and rebuild muscle. The third myth is, you have to experience extreme muscle soreness after every workout. In reality, while DOMS or delayed onset muscle soreness can be a sign that you've challenged your muscles and caused some damage, it's not the only or even the best indicator of a good workout or actual muscle growth. It's not uncommon for people who are new to weightlifting to feel muscle soreness for a day or two after their first few workouts. However, this type of soreness should subside as you become more accustomed to exercising. Here's why. When you work out, especially when you do something new or more intense than usual, tiny tears occur in your muscle fibers. This is actually a normal and necessary part of the muscle building process. Your body responds to these micro tears by repairing the damage and building new muscle tissue. This process leads to increased muscle strength and size over time. However, this process doesn't necessarily cause significant soreness. Research shows that DOMS is actually caused by inflammation in the muscles and surrounding tissues. This inflammation is triggered by your body's response to the micro tears and other stressors like metabolic byproducts that accumulate during exercise. While some soreness is normal, it should never be debilitating. Chronic or persistent muscle soreness could be a sign of an issue such as improper form, overuse, or a need to take more rest days. Remember, consistent progressive overload is the main driver of muscle growth. So instead of chasing soreness, focus on improving the weight you lift, the reps you perform, or your overall training quality over time. Some soreness is normal and can even be beneficial, as it signals that your body is adapting and getting stronger. But it shouldn't be so bad that you can't move normally or perform daily activities, so focus on making gradual improvements over time instead of chasing soreness. Moving on to the next myth, you have to constantly confuse your muscles. You hear that phrase a lot, but what does it mean? People say you have to constantly change exercises to avoid plateaus or build muscle. But the truth is, you don't need to constantly be changing your workouts. In fact, doing so can sometimes do more harm than good. Focusing on a few solid staple exercises is key. Exercises like squats, deadlifts, presses, and rows are fundamental movements that effectively target large muscle groups. They form the foundation of most successful muscle-building programs. By mastering these basic exercises, you'll build a strong base of overall muscular strength and size. Sticking to these staple exercises allows you to progressively overload your muscles over time, which is essential for continuous muscle growth. Constantly changing exercises can disrupt your progress and make it harder to track your development. It can also make it more difficult to progressively overload your muscles, which can lead to plateaus in your progress. Of course, that's not to say you should never change exercises. Doing the same thing over and over can get boring, and you might need to change exercises to challenge your muscles from different angles. To keep things interesting, you can try incorporating variations of exercises or use equipment like bands and chains. But you don't have to constantly be switching up your entire routine. Simply stick to a well-structured program that focuses on key lifts for several weeks or months. Make smaller adjustments or exercise swaps less frequently. Finally, the last myth is you have to eat unlimited amounts of protein to maximize muscle gains. The truth is that there is an optimal range for protein intake when it comes to maximizing muscle building, and staying within that range is more important than simply eating as much protein as possible. Most experts agree that the recommended daily protein intake for adults looking to build muscle is somewhere between 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So for someone who weighs 200 pounds or 90 kilograms, that would mean consuming between 144 and 200 grams of protein per day. Eating more than this does not offer additional benefits for muscle synthesis and can be detrimental by displacing other important macronutrients, like carbohydrates and fats. Carbs are essential for providing energy during exercise, and fats are necessary for hormone production and overall health. Furthermore, consuming too much protein can put a strain on your kidneys and other organs. While it's true that eating enough protein is crucial for muscle growth, you don't need to go overboard. Instead, focus on hitting your daily protein goal consistently and make sure you get it from high-quality sources like chicken, beef, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, and leaner protein sources like tofu and beans. So there you have it. Those are 5 common but misleading beliefs about muscle building that can actually sabotage your progress if you follow them. Instead, rely on evidence-based advice. Focus on consistently applying the actionable tips we discussed today, and you'll see faster results. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Stay consistent, and you will build muscle. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you stay tuned for more great evidence-based nutrition information.